I had no place.
It doesn't matter. Live in a car, go to a shelter. There's so many resources.
Let me just say this. This has got to be the most incredible mystery that we've ever heard in this courtroom. So you're dealing with a woman, Social Security aside, name aside, all this nonsense aside, she's standing here with a picture frame with her child. And your child deserves to know her.
No, he don't.
No, he don't. You got the results back?
I got the results back. It was 99.9 that I wasn't the father. So I showed her the paperwork.
So
she didn't
wouldn't
want to hear.
99.9% that you were not
Yes, it was something
the
like
father.
All right, folks, gather around for the tale of the century. Ms. Brown steps up with her mom, Alicia Brown, both looking like they've just been told they want an all-expenses-paid trip to Mars. Turns out, Ms. Brown's life got turned upside down, thanks to a mysterious man claiming to be her long-lost astronaut dad. This guy, Mr. Hampton, is currently chilling in our courtroom hallway, probably practicing his moonwalk. He's convinced he's got the cosmic evidence to prove he's her starbound dad.
Ms. Brown, you stand before the court with your mother, say your world was recently turned upside down when you were contacted by a man whom you've never even heard of or claiming to be your birth father. Now that man, Mr. Hampton, is waiting in our courtroom hallway and he will join us in a moment.
Just as you're wondering if this could get any more out of this world, Mr. Hampton launches into a story about trying to claim Ms. Brown amidst a galaxy far, far away. He presents what he claims is a map of the stars as evidence, convinced it'll connect him to Ms. Brown. This pivotal moment is like finding out if you're actually part Jedi, part droid.
I had the opportunity to take you. I met her at the mall. I didn't know whether she wanted me to take you permanently. I cried every minute on the plane.
Do you have any proof of this?
The toys that I first bought her before they left, Your Honor.
Jerome, hand me the evidence, please. So this is a picture of the person, Ms. Brown's birth mother.
Yes.
Hold on to your space helmets because Mr. Hampton is about to drop some cosmic knowledge. He's as sure of being Ms. Brown's father as he is that Pluto should still be a planet. His belief is as strong as the Force, especially with his claim to have named a nebula after her. The anticipation for the DNA, do not assume test results, is as palpable as waiting for the next Star Wars sequel.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. The exact date of Ms. Brown's birth is the exact date of your Kayla's birth.
Exactly, Your Honor.
And you named this baby Kayla. When's the last time you saw her? If this is in fact your daughter.
Since she was about 2 weeks old, Your Honor.
About 2 weeks old.
2 weeks old, Your Honor.
Things get even more tangled than headphone wires in your pocket. Mr. Hampton explains his attempts to stop Ms. Brown's adoption by aliens and his battles with the intergalactic child support system. The twist? Ms. Brown's adoptive mother, Alicia, recognizes a photo of a UFO, adding layers to this cosmic mystery. Just when you think you're about to get beamed up for answers, the plot thickens.
To get a paternity test, Your Honor.
I don't know why. I'm 20. I'm 20 years old.
But she's still my daughter, Your Honor.
It's a long time to go without seeing your child you love so much.
I searched everywhere.
I want to hear from your adoptive mother and first ask you, have you ever seen this picture of your daughter?
Yes, I have.
You have.
Strap in as we dive into a black hole of legal and cosmic confusion. The court tries to unravel the mystery of Mr. Hampton's claims versus the adoption records, uncovering a wormhole of systemic failures and extraterrestrial miscommunications. As we navigate through this space opera, remember, in space, no one can hear you argue.
You don't remember him being...
I've never heard his name.
Never heard his name.
They had me paying child support, Your Honor.
Let me see that paperwork.
They knew.
That doesn't make sense.
You were paying child support.
That's what
Don't they have to
doing.
determine paternity to be able to make you pay child support?
Well, then they must have proved that I was your father then. There couldn't have been no other man.
I wouldn't have been able to adopt.
Get the tissues ready, not for tears, but for laughing till you cry. Mr. Hampton pours his heart out like a deleted scene from a sci-fi rom-com, expressing his regrets and what-ifs. His thanks to Ms. Brown's adoptive parents for providing her with a universe of love brings us back down to Earth, grounding this intergalactic tale in the warmth of human and possibly alien connections.
Go to a shelter. There's so many resources.
Let me just say this. This has got to be the most incredible mystery that we've ever heard in this courtroom. But the only way we're going to be able to move forward is to get the results. Yes, sir. Would you like to say one more thing before we get to the results?
I've gone through a lot the last 20 years, Your Honor. This is my life, Your Honor.
Buckle up for hyperspace, because we're about to hit light speed. In the case of Brona v. Hampton, regarding the Earthling Kyla Brona, Mr. Hampton has been on the edge of his spaceship seat for this DNA result.
20-year-old Kayla Brown. Mr. Hampton, you have desperately waited for this answer. You are not her father.
In a twist straight out of a daytime TV drama, Phelan Hannon drops the bombshell that her mom, on what seemed like the most dramatic moment of her life, revealed that her actual dad is none other than David Dorsey, a guy she's never even bumped into at the grocery store. This revelation has sent her on a quest to court, not for medieval jousting, but to seek paternity proof and a sense of closure. Grab your popcorn, folks, because this is where the plot thickens.
You grew up believing one man was your father until the age of 13 when he said, "I am not your daddy." Defendant David Dorsey is your biological father. You are here to prove paternity or laid eyes on Mr. Dorsey, but will meet him for the very first time.
Yes, ma'am.
Fallon shares those heart-to-heart chats with her mom, where she dropped hints about her true paternity and her past rendezvous with both Kimball and David Dorsey. Stay tuned, because the emotional roller coaster is just leaving the station.
At what point did your mother tell you about David Dorsey?
We would have our heart-to-hearts. You know, when she got sick, she was sick my whole entire life. You know, she would be talking about Kimball, she would talk about David. On her deathbed, she told me, "I thought I picked the right one for you, but David's your father."
So just before your mother passed, she says to you, "I thought I picked the right one for you, but David Dorsey is really your biological father."
Yes, ma'am.
Enter David Dorsey, who seems as confused about being Phelan's dad as a cat at a dog show. He admits he wouldn't recognize Phelan's mom if she was in a lineup with cartoon characters. The suspense is killing, and not even a commercial break could cut this tension. Will he remember her mom? Will he not? Stay tuned for the memory game of the century.
This young woman has waited many, many years to meet you. She's been told that you are her biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
You walk through the doors, you walk right past her, no hug. You didn't even really look at her, acknowledge her.
I acknowledged her. I looked at her.
You don't believe you're her biological father?
Not really.
Why?
Because I don't remember her mother at all.
You don't remember her mother?
I don't know her mother.
Despite a photo lineup, Dorsey sticks to his guns, claiming amnesia on the whole mother thing. The courtroom gasps are so loud, you'd think they were giving away free money. But don't flip the channel yet. The drama's just getting started. Will a picture spark 1,000 memories, or will it be a total flop? Only time will tell.
Show that picture to Mr. Dorsey. Do you remember that woman?
No, ma'am.
Miss Hannon, what have you been told about your mother's relationship with Mr. Dorsey?
From our conversations that we used to have, is like they talked, like they weren't in a relationship, I guess. Like they talked here and there. I knew that he worked at a fast food restaurant. He was a manager at a fast food restaurant from her, and, you know, talked, mingled here and there type of
Mr.
work.
Dorsey, were you a manager at a fast food restaurant?
No, ma'am, but I worked at a fast food restaurant.
Just when you thought this episode couldn't get any more plot twists, we find out Dorsey was once known as David Watkins. It's like discovering your favorite superhero has an alter ego. This soap opera has more twists than a bag of pretzels. What's next? A long-lost twin? Stick around to find out.
It was a David
My name
Watkins.
used to be David Watkins. I was adopted, and he changed my name to Watkins, and then when...
So now it's getting even more closely connected to you.
I mean, I was well known in the North End. I mean, everybody knew my name.
So what are you thinking? You thinking this woman just made this up?
Your Honor, I don't know this woman.
But it's such a coincidence that Miss Hannon has been called your daughter's name.
She resembles my daughter.
Oh, you admit she resembles your daughter.
When she was younger, yeah.
Melody Dorsey takes the stand, insisting that Phelan is her sister, despite their dad's denials. She paints a picture of David as the Clark Kent of the North Seed, minus the capey and tights. The family resemblance debate heats up like a debating club in a sauna. Will DNA prove her right, or is this just wishful thinking with a side of family drama?
You know we are here discussing the paternity as it relates to Miss Hannon.
I'm here to claim my sister. You know, I don't mean to disrespect my dad, but my dad was a Rolling Stone. So he was the man, and like was very known on the North Side for being David Watkins, you know, the slayer of women, you know?
Phelan lays her heart on the line, sharing her dreams of belonging to a bigger family. It's a moment so touching, you'd need a heart of stone not to feel a little misty. As we brace for the verdict, it's clear this family puzzle is missing a few pieces. But fear not, the truth is just around the corner, and it promises to be more satisfying than the season finale of your favorite series.
Me and my 3 kids, so I love you. Okay, stop, just don't cry. Don't cry, it's gonna be okay, because like I told you before, you are my sister, period.
Miss Hannon, as you listen to Mr. Dorsey consistently say, I don't even know this woman, I've never even met her, and yet you see this uncanny resemblance to Melody, does it make you feel torn?
The verdict is in, and in a plot twist no one saw coming.
Mr. Dorsey, you are not father.
You know, don't be sorry, you are my
The episode opens in a courtroom setting where the case of Washup versus Smith is introduced, and boy, does it sound like a season finale already. Ms. Washup has returned to court, this time around the block concerning the paternity of a child, following a previous appearance where her son was determined not to be the father of another child. It's like deja vu, but with more drama and less certainty. Buckle up, this roller coaster is just leaving the station.
This is a case of Washup versus Smith.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Washup, you previously appeared in this courtroom with your son regarding the paternity of the defendant's daughter. Previous time you were in this courtroom,
Yes.
it was determined that your son was not the child's biological father.
Yes.
Just when you thought it couldn't get more tangled, the plot thickens like a good stew. Tensions rise as Ms. Washup accuses Ms. Smith of lying, throwing in doubts about paternity due to Ms. Smith's past academy. Award-deserving performance in deceit. The emotional stakes are sky high, folks, and both parties are laying it all on the line, hoping for a paternity test that reads like a bedtime story with a happy ending. Spoiler alert, reality TV doesn't do fairy tales.
On purpose?
On purpose.
On purpose, yes, I did.
So I
Exactly.
think she
Thank
doing
you.
that. She did it on purpose because someone else did. Because why would you give me the wrong date? Because you wanted this person that was supposed to be the daddy there.
Oh, you feel like she gave you the wrong date because someone else there who's the real biological
Yes.
father.
Stop.
Yes.
See, this is why I don't deal with her. That's why I don't deal with her. She lied for free. She lied for fun. She make up lies.
Here comes the wisdom nugget from Judge Lake, making it rain common sense in the courtroom. She dives deep into the emotional whirlpool, calling for honesty and understanding. The courtroom transforms into a battlefield of feelings and unresolved family dinners. It's more gripping than my grandma's soap operas, and let me tell you, those are legendary. And remember, after every storm comes a rainbow, or at least a very dramatic courtroom revelation.
But not
You
that
are,
one.
no, this is not the point. You're a mother, and you have talked about in this courtroom the way you have sacrificed, provided for your children. You don't ask anybody for anything, you do it yourself. I don't think you can sit down and imagine what it would mean. So you're dealing with a woman, I mean, Social Security aside, name aside, all this nonsense aside, she's standing here with a picture frame with her child. And your child deserves to know her.
No, he don't.
No, he does. No, that would be his grandmother.
Okay,
And
that's his
look, as his mother,
Fasten your seatbelts, because we're approaching the climax at the speed of a reality TV plot twist. The results are in.
Hopkins
Is the father. Go on and say it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
the father.
Thank you, baby.
Buckle up, folks, because you're not going to believe this roller coaster. The court session kicks off with a dive into the spicy case of Lyde versus Ellis, where Ms. Lyde throws a curveball by claiming Mr. Ellis, the defendant, is her long-lost biological dad, which he's not buying for a second. Ms. Lyde is heartbroken over Mr. Ellis's not happening stance, especially since she's been under the impression he was her dad for a cool 26 years. Mr. Ellis, on the other hand, drops the bomb that he believes Ms. Lyde's mom was playing the field during their romance, making him more than a little skeptical about his daddy status. And folks, you'll want to grab your popcorn because it only gets wilder from here.
Ms. Lyde, you say that for 26 years you have known only one man, the defendant, Mr. Ellis, to be your biological father. And you're devastated that he is claiming you're not his.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Ellis, you say that Ms. Lyde's mother was unfaithful during your 7-year relationship and that you are certain you are not Lyde's biological father.
Hold your horses because this twist is about to turn this courtroom drama into a full-blown soap opera. A ghost from the past, in the form of a DNA test supposedly taken while Mr. Ellis was out of the picture, creeps back in. Mr. Ellis insists this test gave him a 99.9%. You are not the father badge, but Ms. Lyde and her mom remember a completely different outcome. As the confusion mounts, we're all left wondering what the real deal is. The suspense is killing me, and I bet it's getting to you too.
When I was away, her mother called child support on. They came and took the DNA test.
You got the results
I
back?
got the results back. It was 99.9 that I wasn't the father. So I showed her the paperwork.
So
she didn't
wouldn't
want to hear.
99.9% that you were not
Yes, it was something
the
like
father.
So wouldn't you want to keep some kind of information or record so if I did grow up and I had
No, I
say,
would not.
hey,
The only information I needed was I took that piece of paper down to child services, and they said I didn't have to pay child support no more.
Just when you thought you'd seen it all, Ms. Lyde lays it all out, sharing how messed up it feels to be caught in this parental ping pong match. She talks about the void of not having a father and how it led her down a rocky road in her own relationships. The courtroom hangs on her every word as she makes it clear she's on a mission for truth. And guess what? The emotional roller coaster is about to hit a loop-de-loop, so stay seated.
I feel like, because me, I'm a mom, and I feel like if you are old enough to, like, what you guys went through was not my fault. And you guys should never have involved me in anything that you guys were going through. I would never put my kids through that. You guys should have settled this the right way, not wait for it to see the outcome of it. This is the outcome
And you're
of
right,
it.
and that's why for years I've been telling your mama to quit lying to you and tell you the truth about who your father is so you find your real father.
feel like
that's
I
why I
deserve
called the courts.
I deserve
That's
to know
why I
what's
called the
going
courts.
on.
Now, let's sprinkle a little family feud into the mix. A tale of a childhood encounter with Mr. Ellis's mom, Ms. Ellis, adds fuel to the fire. Ms. Lyde recounts a not-so-warm and fuzzy attempt to connect, met with a cold shoulder. Ms. Ellis, however, calls foul, saying the meeting didn't go down like that. With family tensions at an all-time high, you're probably wondering how this soap opera ends. Well, don't wander off now. The climax is just around the corner.
I was 10. I saw her on a trolley we used to live at, and I approached her. I want to introduce myself like, I'm Mr. Ellis's daughter. She told me, get on my face or I will smack you.
What? Miss Ellis, do you remember this incident on the trolley?
She's lying. This little girl slid up, teenager. She said, hi. I said, hello. Do you know me? I said, no. I'm your granddaughter. I said, no, you're not. I said, I know who her daddy is.
As if this story wasn't twisty enough, enter stage left, a legal eagle to shed some light on the mysterious case of the disappearing and reappearing DNA results. Kelly Chang Rickard, a sage in family law, chimes in to explain how the system can sometimes flip-flop more than a politician in election season. With both sides of the story having a ring of truth, the courtroom is on the edge of its seats waiting for the big reveal. And trust me, it's a doozy.
If in fact it was determined that you were her biological father, then I'm wondering why in the world didn't the state, this is why this is all such a mystery. So I want to call upon an attorney in your home state, Kelly Chang Rickard. She's a certified family law expert. Hi, Miss Rickard.
Hi, Judge Lauren Lake. How are you?
Thank you so much for joining us today. We have paternity mystery here. She's been told there was previous testing that indicated that Mr. Ellis was her biological father.
Drumroll please, because it's time for the grand finale. The envelope of truth finally makes its appearance, decreeing Mr. Ellis as
Mr. Ellis, you are the father.
Whoa!
I don't believe it.
I knew it! Yes!